Get to know one of the poorest countries in Latin America with beautiful single women. Located smack dab in the middle of South America, Paraguay is sandwiched between Argentina, Brazil, and Bolivia, with no direct access to the sea. Spanning an area of about 400,000 square kilometers, it's cut through by the Paraguay River, dividing it into two vastly different geographic regions, the Chaco in the west and the Paranina in the east. The Chaco is famous for its vast low plains prone to flooding, while the Paranina region stands out with its mountainous areas, striking geography, and more stable climate. About 90% of the roughly 6 million Paraguayans live in the central region, shaping a pretty homogeneous society compared to other South American countries. In Paraguay, cultural identity is deeply influenced by an ethnic mix, where about 75% of the population are mestizos, a blend of Europeans and Guarani people. This rich cultural tapestry is even more colorful with the predominant faith in the country, Christianity, specifically Catholicism, which is practiced by nearly all Paraguayans. The capital, Asuncion, sits on the banks of the Paraguay River, serving not only as the administrative hub, but also as the vibrant heart of the country culturally and economically. With its strategic location, Asuncion stands out as a vital hub of activities, and when the sun sets, the city transforms, offering a lively and diverse nightlife scene. This backdrop is further beautified by the presence of stunningly beautiful women, adding a special charm to the nights in the Paraguayan capital. Asuncion's nightlife gets an extra kick thanks to the charm and elegance of Paraguayan women who frequent bars, clubs, and other hangouts. Their presence adds a unique atmosphere of charm and liveliness to the city, marking the nights with their active participation and contributing a natural elegance to events. More than just their physical beauty, Paraguayan women are admired for their qualities of loyalty and affection, charming everyone with warm smiles and a magnetic presence. Economically, Paraguay is considered a developing country, with agriculture at the heart of its economic activity. This vital sector employs around 25% of the active population and accounts for a significant portion of the GDP, as well as being the largest source of exports. Thus, the agricultural sector stands as a backbone for the country's economy, reflecting the importance of land and rural work in sustaining Paraguayan development. Paraguay has been making waves in the agricultural scene with the production of several key crops like soybeans, corn, wheat, rice, sugarcane, peanuts, and cassava. Despite facing image challenges in the past due to associations with illicit activities like electronic smuggling, arms, and drugs, the country witnessed a significant turnaround in its economy from the 2000s onwards. This was thanks to the growth of legitimate sectors, particularly in agriculture and livestock, marking a period of economic renewal. The region we now know as Paraguay has been inhabited by indigenous peoples for thousands of years, a rich history that long predates the arrival of Europeans. During the era of Spanish exploration, the territory was occupied by semi-nomadic tribes, notable for their guerrilla skills and deep knowledge of the terrain. Among these tribes, the Guarani stand out. Living in the eastern part of the country, these people have a history that dates back at least 1,000 years before the arrival of the Spanish colonizers, contributing immensely to Paraguay's cultural and historical mosaic. The historical journey of Paraguay kicks off with the encounter between Spanish conquistadors and local indigenous communities. In the year 1516, these European explorers first made contact with the semi-nomadic tribes inhabiting what would later be known as Paraguay. In 1537, marking a crucial moment in South American history, the Spanish Empire established Asuncion. This city not only became one of the first urban centers on the continent, but was also strategically positioned along the Paraguay River, remaining under Spanish rule for roughly 3 centuries. During this period, Jesuit missionaries, following the evangelical Christian faith, settled in eastern Paraguay with the mission of evangelizing indigenous peoples, an activity that lasted for about 150 years. However, the practices of the Jesuits eventually stirred discontent, leading the Spanish government to expel them from the territory. Paraguay's independence was achieved on May 15, 1811, thanks to the revolutionary drive of middle-class landowners who aspired to autonomy and succeeded in overthrowing Spanish rule, paving the way for the construction of a sovereign nation. After gaining its independence, Paraguay entered an era marked by authoritarianism. José Gaspar Rodríguez de Francia, acclaimed as the country's first leader, ruled as a dictator from 1814 to 1840, aiming to shape an ideal society. Following his death, leadership passed to Carlos Antonio López, succeeded by his son, Francisco Solano López, who took the reins of power in 1862 and held on until 1870. During his rule, Paraguay faced a devastating conflict against Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay, known as the Paraguayan War, which lasted for 5 years and resulted in significant territorial and human losses. The country's political landscape saw another major shift in 1954, when Alfredo Stroessner seized power through a military coup, ushering in a long period of rule until his overthrow in 1989. On February 3rd of that year, Andrés Rodríguez led a coup that ended the Stroessner era, paving the way for a process of democratization. This movement culminated in the adoption of a new constitution in 1992, establishing a multi-party system of government and marking a new chapter in Paraguay's history towards democracy. Exploring Paraguay unveils a rich tapestry of stories and curiosities. Here are 20 points of interest that illustrate the uniqueness of this country. The origin of the name Paraguay is shrouded in mystery, with various theories. One suggests it stems from the Guarani language, translating to crown of water feathers, while another hints at a reference to river that flows into the ocean. In 1811, Paraguay stood out as the first country in South America to proclaim its independence, a milestone celebrated at the Casa de la Independencia in Asuncion. Thanks to its privileged geographical position, Paraguay is known as the Heart of America, situated right in the middle of the South American continent. The Paraguayan flag, officialized in 1842 and later updated in July 2013, is unique worldwide for featuring different emblems on each side. The adopted colors, red, white, and blue, were inspired by the French flag, symbolizing freedom. The side of the flag displaying the national coat of arms celebrates the country's independence, while the other side showcases the Treasury seal, highlighting Paraguay's cultural and historical wealth. Paraguay stands out on the global stage as a bilingual nation, celebrating Guarani and Spanish as its official languages. Guarani, deeply rooted in the identity of the Guarani people, not only serves as a vital link to indigenous cultural heritage, but is also recognized as the voice of the only South American native population still holding on to its language as a pillar of society. Surprisingly, over 70% of Paraguayans speak both languages, with Guarani particularly notable for its onomatopoeic character, capturing the essential sounds of nature and local animal life. In addition to its rich linguistic and cultural tapestry, Paraguay shares with Bolivia the distinction of being one of the only countries in South America without direct access to the sea. However, this lack of coastline is offset by its river and lake beaches, offering a fascinating contrast to the conventional idea of maritime beaches, showcasing the country's geographical uniqueness. Interestingly, the term Guarani is not limited to describing the people and language, but also names the national currency, reinforcing the pervasive influence of Guarani culture in Paraguay. Despite its lack of maritime coasts, Paraguay stands out for having the most significant navy among landlocked countries, reflecting the strategic importance of its water resources. Rivers play a crucial role in defining Paraguay's borders with Brazil and Argentina, and it is through the Parana River that the country finds its route to the Atlantic Ocean, navigating through Argentine waters. Paraguay is often described as a water oasis, thanks to its wealth of water resources, including the Guarani Aquifer. This vast underground reservoir, one of the largest on the planet, stretches beneath Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil, and Argentina, providing an essential reserve of fresh water. The abundance of water in Paraguay is further valued for its role in power generation. Almost all of the country's electricity, 99%, comes from hydroelectric sources, with the impressive Itaipu Dam, located on the Parana River, accounting for 75% of this production. Itaipu, the second largest hydroelectric plant in the world, is a testament to Paraguay's ability to harness its natural resources to meet its energy needs, marking the country as a leader in renewable energy in the region. Opened in 1984, the Itaipu Dam held the title of the world's largest, until the completion of the massive Three Gorges Dam in China in 2008. Paraguay is also home to a subterranean natural wonder, the Guarani Aquifer. Covering an area of 1.2 million square kilometers and with an estimated volume of 40,000 cubic kilometers, this freshwater reservoir has the capacity to supply the planet for approximately 200 years, standing out as a precious water resource for the future. In the cultural spectrum, the country prides itself on possessing sites recognized as World Heritage by UNESCO, such as the Jesuit missions of Santísima Trindade do Paraná and Jesus de Tavarang, relics from the 17th and 18th centuries that bear witness to Paraguay's rich history and cultural legacy. Asuncion, the capital, is strategically divided by the Paraguay River into east and west regions, each with its own political and cultural identity. Reflecting on its past, Paraguay experienced a remarkable period of prosperity in the 19th century, becoming one of the most prosperous and advanced territories in South America, an era of development that left indelible marks on the country's trajectory. During that era, Paraguay greatly benefited from the expertise of European engineers who propelled its progress in military, industrial, and railway development, putting the country ahead in terms of advancements in South America. An intriguing peculiarity of Paraguay is the legality of duels, provided that the participants are registered as blood donors, highlighting a unique aspect of the country's legal code. Paraguay has stood out for its attractive costs and a consistently growing economy, becoming a promising destination for many Brazilians. The significant difference in tax burden compared to Brazil, for example, motivates numerous traders to cross the friendship bridge in search of goods at advantageous prices. Additionally, the simplicity in the process of opening businesses, the affordable value of land, and Paraguay's position as one of the world's leading soybean producers capture the attention of Brazilian entrepreneurs from various fields, who see the country as a land of opportunities. Factors like reduced electricity costs, cheaper labor, and less business bureaucracy reinforce Paraguay's appeal as a favorable environment for investment and economic growth. In Paraguay, a variety of entrepreneurs, spanning from local to international origins like Europe, North America, and Arab countries, are discovering and seizing available business opportunities. This country has become a popular option among Brazilian immigrants, ranking third, thanks to its proximity to Brazil and the benefits offered by the Mercosur economic bloc. Education is another sector where Paraguay excels, presenting a significant cost difference across various levels of education, including higher education. This becomes particularly attractive for Brazilian students, especially those seeking medical education, due to the greater financial accessibility of Paraguayan universities compared to Brazilian ones. Furthermore, Paraguay is recognized for its high consumption of meat, ranking among the highest per capita consumers of beef in the world, which reflects a distinctive aspect of its culture and dietary habits. The asado, Paraguay's traditional barbecue, is a cornerstone of local gastronomy, reflecting the importance of meat in Paraguayan diet and culture. The country is often celebrated as a green paradise due to its vast diversity of natural landscapes, with the Pantanal being one of its highlights. This immense wetland area, stretching across western Paraguay, is considered the largest of its kind across the tropics and hosts a rich biodiversity, including various bird, mammal, and reptile species, many of which are endangered. Paraguay's rich culture and history also manifest in its culinary traditions and beverages. Mate, an herbal infusion, is a beverage of choice among Paraguayans, symbolizing unity and sociability. On the other hand, Paraguayan soup, despite its name, is a solid dish combining corn, onion, and cheese, showcasing the strong indigenous influence on the country's cuisine. Thus, we conclude our cultural journey through Paraguay, thanking everyone who joined us in exploring the riches that the country has to offer. Thank you very much for your attention.